Well, cheers Finbarr for delivering the lecture. I think it was fantastic, and I think people got loads out of it. Very as much to sort of challenge people as much in anything as your philosophy. Just in a nutshell, what were you talking about tonight? What was in a nutshell?
I suppose if I had to put it in one sentence, it would be the great value in authenticity and the great opportunity for this island, this country, and in the globalized world, being true to yourself, being authentic, being real, having a sense of place is where the future lies.
Mm-hmm. And you've only been over in the island briefly, but what's triggered off your imagination about the Isle of Man since you've been here?
Well, probably that magic word I've just used, authenticity. The great thing about Man, I think, from my point of view, is that I see exactly the characteristics that I think are the valuable ones. That is, smallness being valuable, a sense of identity, a sense of I can see a burgeoning or an emergence of when I see the language in so many places. I didn't expect that as much as and it gives me great hope. It gives me great hope going home that the language, I won't say it's strong enough. It will never be strong enough. It is competing in many ways in a world where the major languages, English in particular, are so dominant. And yet, visiting the Bunskull, for example, and seeing the play last night and seeing the great commitment and enthusiasm by the teachers and the students and their parents inspires me. It shows me that, I won't say I'm correct, but it convinces me that I am right to be on this track, that the future is the future in creativity, in being creative, in being a creative island, is in linking creativity with cultural identity, and language plays a central role in that, and Man is a perfect example of why policies that are there to stimulate the language will equally stimulate innovation and creativity.
Because a lot of people, I think, maybe politicians and policy advisors say, like, we want the creative industries and therefore we need to create the right sort of tax environment for them. But we've said it's a bit more, it's more deep and meaningful than that, really, isn't it?
It is. And if it isn't grounded in some way in the indigenous, in the local, in heritage and identity and in tradition, and language is so central to that, if it isn't grounded that way, if it isn't seen that there's no inconsistency in being global and being competitive and being creative and having a very sophisticated technological infrastructure and having young people working in the creative arts and in industries associated with creativity, there's no inconsistency between all of that, which is the goal, and it is the future. There's no inconsistency between that. In fact, it will be inconsistent to be against devoting resources to language and identity, because it is only by having them all interconnected that the real richness emerges. It emerges, the essence of creativity is being able to hold different states of mind at the same time. And the great opportunity in this country is by following policies and pursuing policies that give very strong recognition and support to the language, while at the same time seeing that it is there not just to support the language as in terms of speaking it and nurturing it from that point of view, but also because it's an economic resource that is actually going to lead to a creative society and a very dynamic economy.
Great. Well, you will have the whole of the lecture up on our website later, but it was very stimulating, really interesting, and very creative, you don't mind me saying so. So I think it's good, and hopefully the organisation I work for, Culture Van, and hope we can play some role in just getting people to sort of debate the nature of, creativity, authenticity, and that as managing to position the Isle of Man in the years to come. And also, I think, being more proud about some of the things we do in the Isle of Man, which I think we do very well and in a wide range of things, and we do creatively and innovatively. So thanks for coming over, and hopefully we'll see you over here again soon.
Yeah, Gurumai.
Gurumai.
Gurumai.